I think most of the reasons why most people or why most of us are not doing the things we want in life, why most of us are not pursuing our dreams, pursuing our goals, why most people are not ready to cross that dark path, to cross that ocean to the other part of the land. It's more because of fear. I think it's most of fear, because of fear, like the fear of unknown, the fear of the lonely part, the fear of the dark part, the fear of crossing that ocean. Like, what if I do all these things and things don't move on well, and we mostly find ourselves stuck in our present situation because we are just afraid of the unknown, like how things are going to happen. We keep on asking ourselves questions, like trying to project ourselves in the future, and that prevents most of us from even taking the least act that was going to maybe like provide a solution for our problems. Like, I'll take a short story. A friend of mine, I'm really happy for her. I'm so proud of her. Like, if she will watch this video and she knows I'm talking about her. She has been for years, like most people who live in foreign countries are going to understand what I'm talking about. Like, when you leave your homeland and you go to a foreign country, and if you just go there as a foreigner and not as a citizen of that country, each year you need to, like, maybe some countries they renew their documents each year, and other countries like they need like 3 years and so on, especially when you go there as a student, as a foreign student. So each time you need to provide documents, administrative document. Like, if you're a student, you need to provide your your um, your registration to the administration and so on, so that they can renew your documents frequently. So this friend of mine, I don't know, this friend of mine, yeah, I can use the word, although I don't really like to say friend. Like, this friend of mine, I can use the word. She has been in that situation like for years. She was unable to renew her documents. I think that was in 2023. I don't know, maybe the years I may miss it. And so she have been in that situation for years now, just being illegal in the country where she find herself. So for years she have been thinking about taking the step to go back to her country land, because that was the main solution, taking the step like to go back to her country land in order to regularize the situation and so on. And she have been living in that situation for years with the fear of, like, what if I go back and things don't move on well? What if I take the step to go back home and things happen not to move on well, and I'm unable to regularize the document, and there will be no means for me to come back abroad to continue my studies, or to come back and even live abroad. So she have been living in that situation for years like that, just because of fear. Like, there was like she was afraid of taking that step, like crossing that dark path, crossing that ocean of, like, saying, okay, I'm going back home to regularize this and I will come back, like having that confidence. And most of the people who surrounded her by then, like, they always gave her reasons why things were not going to move on well if she went back home. Why it was Most people even said it was impossible for her, like, to go back home and to succeed, in order to succeed what she wanted to do. So she have been living in that situation for years, living miserable, because, like, if you're living abroad and as a foreigner, you know what I'm talking about. Like, when you have no legal situation, you live like someone very miserable, because you are even afraid to move around the street, because you're each time in your life you're saying, like, what if the police just meets me around, and I'm caught and everything, I'm going to be sent back home and everything. So even to go to the supermarket, you're afraid. Even to go to the shop, you're afraid. Even to go to school, what you're going to study, you're afraid, because each time if there is a control in your campus, they can just pick you up and you find yourself back in your country land. So just imagine the type of life you can live for years, like being afraid each time you look at people. When there's a gathering, you prefer like to look for another part to place, to stay alone, be on your side, because you're afraid of control and everything. So with her environment, everything seemed to be impossible, like what she wanted to do. And once I was in that situation and I went over, like I went back home, because I was once in that situation also. I went back home and I was able to regularize my own situation, and I came back. That began to like give her more reasons to trust that what she wanted to do was the reason. But still, the environment in which she find herself still found reasons to tell her, like, not because it worked for Stanley that it's going to work for you. Your procedure may be different and so on. It's not going to work on. It's impossible. We don't advise you to do that. Like, and just imagine when you find yourself in that environment of people like who always negative, always find reasons. Like I usually say, if you're looking for 10 reasons why things won't work, you're going to find them. If you're looking for 10 reasons why things will work, you're going to find them. It just depends on what you're looking for. And we mostly find what we get. So our environment have been looking for reasons and everything, but I just told her, you just need to ask yourself, like, are you ready to live in this situation like this for another 5 years or 10 years or 20 years of your life without doing anything now, and you will live to regret in the future? Or are you ready to take the action now and to try anyhow? By the way, what do you have to lose? Like I asked her, what do you have to lose? You have almost nothing to lose. You've been in this situation for years and nothing is moving for you. So won't it be better even for you to take the risk going back home? I'm not saying like that, it may seem simple, but that was not easy. Like to convince her and so on, it was not easy for her to take the step. And finally, she told me, she prayed and she looked for reasons why she was going to do that, and she found so many reasons. And recently, she decided to go back home and to start everything at fresh, like like what I did, to start everything at fresh. And yesterday, the 5th November, she had her visa. After being living in this illegal situation for years, yesterday she had her visa, and it has just been about 2 months that she was in her home country. You see, she had been living in an illegal situation for years, whereas the situation was just about for her to wait and be patient for 2 months. So when she told me yesterday she had her visa, I just asked myself, like, what are the other things people tell we that it's impossible and we don't even take action because we are afraid about the impossibilities of those things? What are some of the other things have been trying to do in life and I have not been doing them because of what I think I'm going to have as an outcome, because of my negative thoughts, because of the negative reasons, because of fear that I have? And I have this say to myself, like, courage is not the absence of fear, but it's just the ability for you to find so many reasons why things are going to work, why you're going to make it, such that the voice of fear becomes so minimal in your voice. Like, to say someone is courageous, it doesn't mean the person does not have fear. Like, we have this thought of saying, like, okay, if you say I'm confident, if you say I'm courageous enough, I've prayed enough, things are going to move on. No, even Jesus in the Bible, like, he once feared, like, in the agony before his passion, he went to the garden and he prayed. He said, like, Lord, if this cup can pass, take it away from me. But if it can't pass, let your will be done. Like, I see that, like, he was in the human nature of saying, like, what am I going to go through? But he said, like, God, if this thing can't pass me by, take it away. But if it can't pass, let your will be done. So you see, it's just our human nature to be afraid. For me, I see that part like it's just our human nature to be afraid about things that are happening to us in life. But for you to say I'm courageous, you just need to find yourself reasons why you need to do those things anyhow. And I also have this say like, when you're going through some hard things in life, when you're going through some bad times, when you want to take action about something, you just need to find yourself reasons why you need to do those things. And I think reasons are more important than result. When you have a reason to do anything, you can achieve anything. That's why my name goes like Whipower. Like, what is the why you're doing the thing? The why should be your strength. And once you attain the level where you say to yourself, like, I have nothing to lose, like, we always have something to lose, but once you attain, you fix yourself mentally to say to yourself, like, I have nothing to lose now, and you go in and do the thing anyhow. Most of the time, that gives us the result we want in life. Most of the time, that is the level at which success is found. Most people will say, like, it's true, things move on well, but what if the things did not move on well? Like, at least you have that self-satisfaction with yourself because you've tried, you've done everything possible you think to adjust your situation, to change your situation, but life just happened, and at least you learn something. So you, at the end, you still don't lose, but you learn something. So just as I'm asking myself, what are the things you're trying to do? What are the things you've been saying to yourself you're going to do, and you haven't like had that courage to start those things? Just find yourself the reasons. What if you don't do these things now, and maybe 5 years after, are you going to be happy with yourself? Are you going to be satisfied with yourself? Like, will you prefer like not doing it now and regretting in 10 years, or just taking that action to say like, I'm going to do it now, no matter the fear I face, and let's see about in 10 years. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to start that business? Are you trying to begin writing that book? Are you trying to start YouTube? Are you trying to start like learning a new language? Are you trying like to start doing something like applying for that job that you've always wanted in life, but you've been giving yourself reasons why it's impossible to achieve that? And don't bother, most people are going to tell you it's impossible. Most people are going to tell you you can't do it, it has never been done, and so on. There is also the story about 1,000 mile that Roger Bannister, like, he conquered the mile. Most people have been saying like it's impossible to run that mile in between less than 4 minutes. And from the first time that was being done, so many other students followed to do that. Like, anything, like Nelson Mandela always say, like, it's always impossible until someone does it. It's always impossible until someone does it. So don't even bother to ask yourself, like checking online, like most people who have done this thing before and what are the results they have. Yeah, some of the things is good to check, but just know to yourself, like, most of the things you find today, you discover in the world have never been done until someone tried it. And maybe that person is you. Maybe you're the one to try that thing new. Maybe you're the one to maybe you'll be the first person to take that dark path to try something, and after you've done, so many people are going to do it. Like, I'm courageous now enough. I feel happy, like, from my own situation, like she was able to regularize her situation. Maybe other people did that in the past, but just because I did it and I was closer to her, she was very confident, and that gave her more reasons to go and try. So most of the time, you're going to be the first person to start that thing, and that is fine. If you start and fail, who cares? Like, and most of the things, like, we ask ourselves so many questions, and we think so many people care about our lives that we don't even live the lives we want. Like, no one cares. Just go on, cross that bridge, throw yourself into that ocean, be ready to swim. And if you don't have wings, just let the waves carry you around, and maybe you find yourself on the other part. Be ready to climb and just jump, just dive and let the wind control you and take you to the path you want. Don't. That is what I'm just trying to implement now. Like if I'm thinking about something I want to do, I just look for reasons why I need to do those things. And when I'm able to find more reasons than the fear I face, then I know when I'm able to say to myself, I have nothing to lose, dude, just go on and do it all. Like what I'm doing now, I say like, what if I don't do it and I find myself after 50 years regretting, like saying to my children, I wish I had started Facebook, I wish I have started YouTube and so on. Don't bother. Fear exists and fear is real. But just find yourself reasons. More reasons. If you're tired like being broke, if you're tired going to the supermarket, looking at your bank account and there is nothing, if you're tired like being tired like moving alone, if you're tired like going to the supermarket with a calculator, like going there to calculate each franc you want to buy, like picking up those things in the supermarket and first looking at the price tag. If you're tired about doing those things, if you're tired about looking at your children being like not having what they want to eat, eating what they don't really want to eat, if you're tired about like being in that apartment where you have nothing, if you're tired about like being in that job and so on, just look for yourself more reasons like why you have to do this thing. And most of the people who find reasons for themselves are do incredible things in life. And maybe you're the next most of the people. Just find yourself reasons. No fear will always exist. I know nothing is impossible until it's always impossible until someone does it. And maybe you're that person. Maybe I'm that person. It's possible. Don't be afraid. You may be afraid, but just find yourself reasons that will give you courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but it's the ability to provide more reasons to yourself to do what you want to do, to take that action, such that the voice of fear becomes so minimal. Such that the voice of fear becomes so minimal. If you should end the video just with that quote, then it'll be a great thing. That's one of the main quotes I use now. It just came in my mind like that. It's possible. And I know you can do it. Just go in all. Meet you in another video. Find yourself the reasons to take action, to do the thing you want, to face your life, and to live your life. Love you. Take care. See you in another video.